The fitness niche is absolutely massive, and I'm not just talking about people looking for information, but also the amount of people who post fitness content. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for people promoting exercise and living a healthier life, but there's a lot of influencers out there giving advice that really shouldn't be giving advice. And I'm gonna be taking a look at some of these idiots and their terrible takes and giving you my response to it. So this is one of the new archetypes of fitness influencers, which are essentially 20-year-old kids who barely started lifting, and they try and make every single exercise as stable as possible. With this kid using a belt to strap himself against a cable column to hit his abs. I personally hate these ridiculous exercises where you use something to strap yourself in to become more stable. First, a lot of these fuckheads end up moving around a ton anyways and not being stable at all. I don't care how much you strap yourself in, if you do not have good body control or you're using too much weight, you're not gonna be stable. Second, the kids doing these exercises will have no idea how to fucking move. These ridiculous exercises are meant to isolate muscles as much as possible. Spamming isolation exercises will not allow your muscles to learn how to work together effectively because you always train them in isolation. And because these kids strap themselves in more than an overprotective mom straps her kid in, they will have terrible balance and stability. This will lead to decreased force production when they're not strapped in, aka any daily activity, because they actually have to stabilize themselves instead of using external equipment, and you're only as strong as your weakest link. And if that's not enough, they'll have higher injury risk too. This kid also claims that this is the most peak ab exercise, which I heavily disagree with. I don't even know what went through the head of the original creator of this exercise. Like, is a decline sit-up or a machine crunch not stable enough? Like, why do we have to be strapping ourselves into a cable column? The reason why I don't believe this is the most peak ab exercise is because it's not using the abs in the most practical or functional way possible. The main function of the abs is to stabilize the body for upper or lower extremity movement. This is why you often see athletes spamming core stability exercises and not dynamic ab exercises. Now, the most functional way to train your abs is arguably with heavy compound movements because you're stabilizing your body to produce force, but core stability exercises directly target your core and allow you to load it up more, and a stronger, more stable core will transfer over to your lifts and outside the gym very well. In my personal opinion, the most peak core exercise would be a Pavlov press or a Pavlov hold, but for the abs in particular, I'd probably go with a hollow body hold or a decline sit up for more dynamic work. Oh my god, I go to the gym so long, I work super hard. This is a great example of what I was saying, how people are trying to become fitness influencers when they know nothing about fitness. This girl put in her caption, the weekend means 3+ hours. What the fuck are you doing in the gym for 3+ hours? The only way I'd be in the gym for 3+ hours is if I played basketball for 2 hours after my workout, and who plays basketball for 2 hours? Even if you did a full body workout with lots of lifts, if you program properly, your workout shouldn't be over 1:15. If you're being super generous, maybe 1:30. And if you add a 15-minute warm-up, the max it'll get up to is 1:45. The only way to get this hypothetical workout over 3 hours is to do like 90 minutes of cardio post-workout, which is stupid because you're gonna run into the interference effect. Working out for a long time doesn't mean you're a grinder. It means you're an idiot when it comes to programming your workout. I personally like to say that your workout should be 1 hour plus or minus 15 minutes of high intensity work, so no warm-up included. But this is just a general guideline and may vary from person to person. The reason why I really like this rule is that around the 45 to 60 minute mark, testosterone and growth hormone peak. After that, cortisol rises disproportionately, which may affect muscle growth and recovery. Longer workouts are also harder to recover from, so you can't train as frequently, and after 1 hour of intense work, you're likely to run into that junk volume zone. You can either train hard or train long, not both. For this girl, if you're even training over 1 hour 30 minutes, you're either training soft the entire time, fucking around too much in between sets, or you're fatigued so your later sets are junk volume, and you're just accumulating fatigue without any real gain. Shorten your workouts and train harder. Before I get into the next clip, if you're looking to start training like an athlete and not an idiot bodybuilder, be sure to start your free trial of my Aesthetic Athlete Academy. With the free trial, not only do you get to try out the best community in the world, but you get free workout routines, free cardio routines, a free consultation call with me, and much more. Be sure to claim your free gifts down below. So here's another archetype of the new generation of lifters, the ones that are softer than Charmin Ultra Soft. They literally run and hide from every exercise that's tough. The funny thing is that I'm sure this training style actually resonates with a lot of people who want exercise to be as easy as possible. And now onto the shit advice, and yes, squat movements are fatiguing and they take a long time, but it's because it's a more complex movement and it hits way more muscles than a soft exercise like a leg extension. This is like complaining that a 200-meter sprint is more fatiguing than a 100-meter sprint. Of course it is, because you're running further given that you're running at the same intensity. The squat movement is a must in your program, no ifs, ands, or buts. Train movements, and then if you want to add in some isolation exercises afterwards, go ahead. But don't be an idiot and replace foundational movements with soy boy isolation exercises. I mean, this kid's logic is to essentially just spam isolation exercises because compound lifts are too fatiguing. And again, I don't know why I have to explain this, but it's more fatiguing because you're using more freaking muscles. And just like the first kid, since you never work muscles together and always rely on isolation, you won't be able to move properly, or at least not at a high level.
Despite what some creators think, you can bias the upper and lower lats. The main evidence that these creators, which I highly respect, use against this take is the statistical insignificance of the activation of the upper and lower lats during shoulder adduction and shoulder extension using EMG. EMG can be utilized to measure muscle activation, however, it does not correlate with the measurement of muscle force or mechanical tension, and has other limiting factors.
So this archetype of the next generation of lifters is essentially that super smart kid in your math class who decided to get into bodybuilding. This is an example of a fitness influencer trying too hard to be smart that they become super dumb in the process. I'm also not a big fan of this kind of content because it confuses the average lifter and makes them overthink lifting when it's actually super simple. Bro gave us a lecture about biasing the lower and upper lat when it's useless information. Let's just say I told you that you could bias the upper or lower lat. How would that affect you? Would that change your life? Would that change your workout plan? No. If you just train all the movements with a variety of different grips, so horizontal pull and vertical pull in this case, and add in a lat pullover as well from time to time, you will end up getting complete back development anyways. So there's no need to give yourself a headache about biasing lat fibers.
You know, how big can I get? How ripped can I get? How strong can I get? I want to go to the max. I don't want people to say, wow, that's a nice, pretty physique. I want people to say, what the fuck is that? Yeah?
So this last guy is just a dude looking to make some content somehow and decided to only train one trap. Listen, this is pretty funny and actually kind of interesting, but I'm wondering if bro knows that doing this can lead to significant musculoskeletal imbalances and health consequences. There are so many possible issues doing this, it's pretty crazy. Since this will lead to one shoulder being higher than the other one, it will affect neck alignment and could cause chronic neck pain or headaches. His spine will become misaligned, which could cause asymmetrical movement. Unilateral hypertrophy can throw off balance, coordination, and athletic performance, which increases injury risk and in many cases facilitates more muscle imbalances. And that's just a couple examples. I could go on for days as to what could happen to this kid. Muscle imbalances are normal, which is why when a subscriber asks me what to do about a muscle imbalance, I always tell them to accept it because, again, it's normal. But intentionally creating a muscle imbalance is not freaking normal. And personally, I don't know about you guys, but looking like a freak and sacrificing your health isn't worth a little bit of clout. So make sure you train both sides and add in some unilateral exercises because you guys know how much I love them. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments and subscribe and like if you enjoyed. I also made a video looking at some of the craziest gym fails which you should check out.